This is Gabriel, and this is for my COMM 218 class. This is on the educational merits of video games. The educational merits of video games is often overlooked by most of society due to the highly publicized story in media regarding the negative effects of video games. Many recent events of violence, such as those of the Newtown in Connecticut, and of course we've seen a few recent ones like the Chris Dorner guy, the LA police cop. People see these and they want to find a way to blame these events on something. So the easy thing to look at is, of course, video games and the aggressive nature that they have. Some of these video games are gruesome and aggressive in nature. The ones that bring the most spotlight are, of course, the Call of Duty series, the Halo series, and of course the Assassin's Creed series as well. These are very popular games, and they all have to do with a lot of shooting, weapons, very graphic. And these games, it's because they are seen negatively in light, they overshadow the benefits of the educational merits that the video games can have. So let's go ahead and look at the next. Video games can be used as research or measurement tools. Furthermore, as research, these tools have great diversity. Video games attract participation by individuals across many different demographic boundaries. For example, age, gender, ethnicity, and of course educational status. Video games can also assist children setting goals, ensuring goal rehearsal, providing feedback, reinforcement, and maintaining records of behavioral change. Of course, with the advancement of technology has further advanced the ways in which we as a society learn and communicate. Of course, online schooling, people telecommute now to work, so they don't actually have to be on premises. And with education, some schools have done away with textbooks altogether in favor of using such devices like iPads, laptops to teach and convey their lessons to their students. Not only is it useful to children, but adults as well, who can benefit from playing different video mind games that help stimulate thought and brain activity. Of course, the integration of electronic media, the uses of smartphones and tablets have made it easier to learn and teach children by granting them access to learning material like video games that teach basics like math, reading, and language skills. Also, websites and applications or apps also offer children a variety of ways to play or learn. Websites such as ABC Mouse, there's ABC, and other sites like, of course, Nickelodeon, Nick Jr., Sprout. These websites not only give kids ways to learn and interact, but it teaches them skills that they will use in school. And as I show you here are a few there's examples of video games, like I was stating. They have educational video games like for younger kids, like Dora. These games, they do teach your children, learning words, alphabets, how to count, teaches them problem solving skills. It teaches a lot of different things that, children will actually use. And of course, teenagers, and as you get older, the more interactive, as you can see here, this is the Assassin's Creed video game that I was talking about that they say is very violent. But the unique thing about this game is it actually places you in the point of history. It actually teaches you history as you go along. I'll get more into that, into what the future uses of video games can be. But as we look down, you can see that even as adults, we can still find uses for video games, and they can be educational without the the stress on the education part. And we do this without even knowing it. We do it out of playing and enjoyment. And games like Sudoku, as you can see there. Sudoku, of course, you have to have you have to use and be able to calculate, to use your mathematical skills. And then there's games that are very popular, like Words with Friends. And this one is also in itself very unique, because it relies on you to have a strong grasp of a strong grasp of vocabulary and uses of the English language. So as you can see, like I said, there are various and different ways that video games have actually come into our lives and are very educational for us. And of course, the future uses of video games. This is why I was wanting to talk about the Assassin's Creed game itself. As video games get better and better and more advanced, the popularity of video games are beginning to become more realistic. The educational content will soon begin to be integrated into the games itself. Like I was saying, for example, in the Assassin's Creed game, the protagonist, who is in the middle of the Revolutionary War, actually has interactions with famous figures like George Washington, Ben Franklin, and in the game itself, he is present at such historical events like the Boston Tea Party and Washington when he was crossing the Delaware River. And this is something that was very unique about this game, but it's something that I think game creators will start to see the importance and how they can use this to advance the way that games are created. Even though it is very gruesome, it does in a way teach a part of history, a lesson. So, in concluding this presentation, the educational merits of video games have, grown with the evolution of technology. And as these methods that we learn change with these advancements, so will the avenues in which we present education to our students. And this has become more and more evident, with the advancement of the iPad, the iPhones, tablets, smartphones. It even plays part in my life, as you can use it when you're out on the go to log into the university website. You can check questions, assignments. So it has changed the way that we as a society actually learn. Just again, this is Gabriel Hill, and this is concluding my presentation. Thank you.